Jay Pharoah.
Yeah.
You said a lot of people think that I have beef with Jay Pharoah, but I got a lot of love for Jay Pharoah.
I envy Jay Pharoah.
Because he does a lot of impressions that I wish I could do.
Yeah.
And hands down, he's one of the coldest in the game.
Yes.
His impressions are dope.
Absolutely. His Will Smith, his Chris Rock.
Jay-Z.
His Jay-Z. And again, this is where people go, I'm hating. I was just going, look, as an impressionist, we're perfectionists.
Yeah.
You know, the key to a great impression is not hearing your own voice. If there's some dudes who do impressions where you listen and you go, I can still hear you. When you lose you and become them, it's a different ball game. And the only thing that's ever bothered me is when Jay does Jay, he goes, my baby girl, Hova with my baby girl, Hova rule the world. And Hov has never said world or goyle. Hov would say world and girl how we say world and girl normally, just in the Hov tone. Yo, it's your boy, Young Hov. You know I rule the world. Yo, that's my baby girl. It's just girl, world. The oil just bothered me. But other than that, Pharaoh's beast, man.
Yeah.
Pharaoh's a fucking beast.
Well, I just had Godfrey on the show.
Yeah.
His impressions were amazing.
I got a Jason Statham. I actually did it for Jason Statham. I was on a radio show, Opie and Jim show, and Jason Statham was on the show, and they called me in, and I did Jason Statham. You know Jason Statham. Okay, ready?
Right. The transporter.
Fuck yeah. He's like, I forgot to tell you, I'm the transporter. This is what I fucking do. I don't care who you are. Woo! I just smoked that bitch!
Godfrey does some impressions too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His impressions were amazing. I mean, if you look at, it seems like impressions is a whole different part of comedy.
Again, levels.
Yeah. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
different note.
Like, you look at like a Chris Rock or a Dave Chapelle, they don't do impressions.
No, they don't. But the thing I loved about Dave and the Chapelle show, because when the idea of the Chapelle show first came about, I was just like, how's he gonna do that? He don't do impressions and characters. But then I got reminded that the Dave Chapelle show, before the Dave Chapelle show, was the Richard Pryor show. And Richard didn't do impressions of characters, but to Richard's genius, he knew where the funny was. He knew where the satire was.
Right.
He knew how to milk it, which is what Dave did, and did it on a phenomenal level.
Right, because when he did Rick James, he wasn't doing a Rick James impression per se, but the Rick James character he did is still funny today, which is what, 15 years later or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Rick James, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck your couch. Like, it's still fucking hilarious.
He knew where the comedy was.
He knew where it was. I mean, if you look at comedians who do impressions, who do you think are the all-time best?
Eddie Murphy, King. And there's not really a lot of dudes that do it. Eddie Murphy, Jay Pharoah, Affion Crockett.
Affion Crockett, okay.
Yeah, Affion Crockett. Myself somewhere in there. And Reggie Reg.
Reggie Reg, I'm not familiar with.
Reggie Reg was on the Bad Boys of Comedy.
Okay.
He does the best Denzel I have ever seen. Dean Edwards does Denzel too.
Okay.
We all do Denzel, but Reggie Reg was the dude that made me tuck my neck chain away. he showed up with this big fucking silver platinum cable piece down to the dick with the big medallion, and I had the herringbone, and I had to tuck my shit and go, okay, I gotta go back to work.
So, what are your best impressions? Who are your best impressions?
They vary, man. I mean, listen, I drink and smoke a lot, so sometimes my voice don't always cooperate with me, but when my voice is right and I'm totally where I need to be in pocket, Shaq, Jay-Z, Denzel.
Can we hear a Denzel?
Well, I just saw that movie, Ezekiel, number 73, pamphlet 87, book 44X, that crazy title. But like Jay-Z says certain things, all right, we're talking about the law. All right, we're talking about justice. All right, everybody's got a right to a fair shake. Everybody's got a right to a free trial. Huh? All right. All right, that's what we're talking about. Huh? So, but like I always tell people impressions are like music. It's like a note, hitting a note range. And what makes Shaq so easy is his bassy. So everything is right here. You ain't gotta go far, you ain't gotta stretch. Yo, DMX is the growl, you know what I mean? It stays right there, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So when it's like that, Same thing with Pacino. You hold this boy's future in your hands, committee. It's a good future. It's a valuable future. Embrace it. Protect it. Hoo-ah. So just the nuance and the, but like I said, depending on where my vocal range is at that moment, sometimes I'm really in pocket and sometimes I'm having an off day. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Impressions is definitely a tricky one.
Yeah.
It's definitely a tricky one. And, when you nail it, you just absolutely nail it.
Well, it's always two parts. It's the cadence and the voice. Some dudes have the cadence down, but they don't have the voice, or vice versa. They got the voice, but they don't have the cadence. Like Barack Obama, I know his cadence, but it's hard for me to get the voice. Barack Obama, what we do here in America, it's important to my daughter, Sasha Malil. He has that cadence, does like that when he talks. Now, the cadence I got, but the voice, I don't really have a voice like I wish I could.